Back in 2006, Killzone arrived on the PlayStation Portable. But instead of it being a first-person shooter like Killzone had been on the PS2, which was released 2 years earlier in 2004, Killzone Liberation is a third-person shooter. Originally, the game not only supported one hell of a kick-ass campaign, but also online multiplayer. Guerrilla Games went all out on this one, and it shows, as it holds up really well some 10 years after its original release. I cannot believe PSP games are now a decade old. Killzone Liberation's story is fairly commonplace if you know anything about the series. Two sides of a great war are fighting one another. Yep, that about sums it up. The focus is almost entirely on the action. The game's broken up into a series of missions, with each mission requiring you to select a weapon loadout before you begin. And this is interesting as it adds an element of strategy to the game that many weren't expecting back when it was originally released. When you begin your missions, you have a set of basic objectives you have to overcome in order to complete said mission. As the levels progress, things get more and more complex, which only makes the later missions that much more interesting. While you attempt to complete your missions, the Helghast will do everything in their power to stop you. And this is where one of Killzone Liberation's strengths shines through: enemy AI. The Helghast will hide behind objects they know you can't penetrate with your weapons, they'll run away from incoming grenades you throw, and they'll counterattack with backup. If you stay still for too long, the enemy will try and flush you out by throwing grenades or rockets at you. You really have to make good use of your environment in order to survive, and yes, even on the easiest difficulty, this game is not a pushover. Aiming takes a little bit of getting used to since there's no lock-on mechanic. However, the game will automatically aim your cursor towards your enemy if you're close enough. It can be a little bit difficult to get grenades to go where you want them to go if you've got something like 6 Helghast coming after you, since you're constantly moving around trying to aim all at the same time with the analog stick, or nub. I should also mention that the game is tough, but the checkpoint system is such that you don't have to traverse large areas over and over again when you die, and this also makes it a very portable friendly video game. One of the biggest additions to Killzone Liberation was the inclusion of AI-controlled characters. The interface is extremely simple and very effective. The AI reacts 99% of the time and isn't a complete brain-dead fool as in most of these type of games. While it's true that most of the functions are really basic, you can tell your partner to move, defend, man the turret, or fire at a specific enemy, it works, and that's the simplest, best compliment I can actually give this game. Graphically, it's quite nice from a technical standpoint, although the level design is extremely linear. It's also a very short game, being able to be completed in just a handful of hours, but those hours are extremely impressive. The game looks absolutely spectacular, and the audio design is just as impressive. Killzone Liberation also featured a wealth of features, including a fun co-op mode, a challenge mode that can unlock goodies for use in the single-player mode, and a wealth of multiplayer modes, including Deathmatch, Team Deathmatch, Capture the Flag, and Assault. It was easily one of the best AAA games released on the PSP. It's perfect for a handheld system like this, especially with its killer checkpoint system. The missions themselves aren't very long, so even if you play through each mission, you'll only have to give around 10 minutes of your time or so. And if you absolutely have to leave quickly, just put the system into sleep mode and continue when you have some more free time. The game can be had on the UMD for a few bucks and on the PlayStation Network for about $10 US. And yes, the game is playable on the Vita for all you Vita owners out there. This is one you really should experience. It's a fantastic game. And starting next week, we're going to take a look at the High Impact Games trilogy. So I hope you enjoy.
Our main weapons cache is in an underground bunker north of here. Demo squad wasn't able to take out the access elevator before the Hellgast attack, so you're gonna have to take care of it. We can't let those weapons fall into enemy hands.
Wild Horse, this is Evac 3, ready for takeoff.